Hello and welcome to Andy's Cornish Creations. This week I'm going to be turning a mushroom out of this log. It's a piece of spaltered log. I'm not sure what kind of wood it is, but I've got a tenon on one end and I've got it mounted in the chuck with the tailstock up against it for extra support. I'm just taking off the little branch that's sticking out and get the tool rest a little bit closer now. I'm using my 3/8 spindle gouge and just getting it down to round, except for the bottom, the base, where I'm going to leave the bark on. So where I'm working at the moment is going to be the top, and I know I can turn that down a bit without worrying about taking the bark off. And get the tool rest a little bit closer again. And now I'm using the parting tool just to define where the base is. So that's the very bottom of the base. And I can take that in a little bit whilst leaving enough there to support the wood in the chuck. And that I'm just parting off where the base finishes. And it's a bit of a slope up. I'm going in at an angle there, so it slopes up towards the stem of the mushroom. And where I've got the parting tool now, that'll be the bottom of the mushroom cap. I'm just defining where everything goes. I will be putting a sort of a bulbous stem on it. Not very realistic, but it's a sort of stylized mushroom anyway. It's not supposed to particularly look realistic, but I quite like this look. So that's what I'm going for. Now I'm back to the 3/8 inch spindle gouge, and I will take this down to round. This is all filmed in real time, so this is probably takes me about 14 minutes to do, and this is even with filming, so it's a really quick project to make. You can probably make one of these in 10 minutes easily without faffing about with the camera. The skew chisel there, I'm just going in with the skew chisel, just give me a nice sharp bottom edge on that mushroom cap. Sometimes if you go in with the parting tool, it leaves a bit of a raggedy edge on it, but the skew chisel leaves a nice sharp edge. And then back to the spindle gouge, just to create a nice cut on the top of the base where it goes up to the stem. Just forming the sort of bulbous stem of the mushroom. The spindle gouge does leave quite a nice finish, and is sort of minimal sanding to do when I've finished with it. I'm just getting the tool rest across a little bit so I can I'll work in a bit towards the end of the tool rest, which I don't like to do. Better to keep at least an inch away from the end if you can. Now I'm just trying to get a really good cut on that base. It tends to be a little bit awkward getting undercutting there. And for that reason I'm using the parting tool that I've used it before, and I've just rounded the end off a thin parting tool, and I like to use this for undercutting things, and it still leaves you can sort of finish it off quite nicely in the right down in the deep recess. So that's the base done and the stem done, and now just to work on the cap. So I just sort of scoop it in a little bit from the bottom. And here I'm just making the shape up as I go along. Got no real plan. Just think mushroom and go for it. It's kind of a bell shape, I suppose. Pretty much a bell shape, yeah. Really, that's pretty much it. Just trying to refine the shape slightly, take away any sort of peaks and troughs. Back to the 1/2 inch skew chisel and just basically parting the top off, and the skew chisel leaves a nice finish on the top. Although I am going around again with it, just so there's a nice even round at the top. That's it, tool rest out of the way, and I'll be reaching for the sandpaper. It's not got a bad finish on, so I'll start off on 120, and I'll go right through. There you go. I'll go right through to 400 with the sandpaper. So there we go, that's 400. Getting a little bit closer. Already you can see that it's starting to develop a bit of a shine. And now I've got my abrasive paste. I get a bit of that everywhere, even on the bark. I think I put a bit. On. Turn the speed up. You can see it there, starting to shine. That white line appearing. It got awkward to get in there, so I just get the cloth and just pull it out and just hold it in there, being careful just to hold it with my fingertips, just in case it gets grabbed, and it'll pull it out of my fingers straight away without any harm. Bit of paper just to remove any excess abrasive paste. And there I've got my homemade wood wax, and put a wax finish on. I'm not after this being, I don't want a high shine on it particularly, just as long as it's got a nice sort of satin sheen, and it tends to look nice like that, a bit more natural rather than a sort of sprayed glossy finish. And that's started to look nice now. I put some wax on the onto the bark, or the areas that haven't got bark on as well, and just try and give it a little buff. Helps to seal the wood and to give it a smooth feel. So there, I'm just removing any excess wax. And then get a clean or semi-clean cloth and give it a bit of a buff up. Now bring the tool rest up, and I'll be parting it off at the base. I've gone in with the skew chisel again, just because of that, just to give it a nice sharp clean edge on the bottom. It does help. And then the parting tool, and with the parting tool I'm going in at a slight angle, so that it sits nicely on a flat surface. So I'll part it down to within about half an inch or something like that. I roll my sleeve up where I'm going to stretch around the back of the chuck, because I don't want my sleeve flapping about around the chuck, and part it off until it's gone through enough for me to catch it. And then I'll just sand the bottom, and that's it. Okay, there we have it. A really simple project, great for a beginner, or like myself this afternoon. I'd only got an hour to spare, and it enabled me to come out and do something and sort of create something that's nice and interesting. The wood, I'm not sure what it is. It's a branch that I've picked up from somewhere, but I thought it had got a nice bit of spalting in it. When I cut it down, I thought maybe not so good a piece, but actually it's got some nice interesting features in there that yeah, it's quite nice. It was a little bit soft, but it's taken a decent finish, and yeah, still great fun to do. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it that thumbs up, and share if you can, and if you can subscribe, or if you haven't subscribed, then please do so, and if you do, ring the little notification bell, and that lets you know when the next video is coming up. Yeah, so from a wet and windy Cornwall, it's just starting to go dark now outside, so I'll be going in now. My name's Andy Paramore, this is Andy's Cornish Creations, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.